We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Brothas N Bets weekly college basketball edition. And while we getting live, you already know the deal. Go ahead and fast forward to maybe the 4 minute mark because I got to get these go live for everybody on all of our other social media outlets. T, what's going down?
Right. What's going down, coach? So shit, while you doing that, I go over everybody our records for yesterday
Okay.
and how I did. So we both went 2-3. Um you hit first half Richmond -7 and Drake, we both hit Drake -3.5 yesterday. We both lost on Pitt and we both lost on Mizzou. And I lost.
Say what? Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, my phone had my speakers died, my earpiece died. Anyway, I lost on Georgia Tech and you lost on UT. So that was our two separate losses, but we both went 2-3. Um, fucking Georgia Tech just didn't cover by 1 point at the end of the game. They lost by 7 instead of 6. So that's how we lost on that one. Overall though, I had a decent day overall. I hit both my NBA games. I took the Rockets -3 and the Knicks. I mean the Jazz -11 over the Knicks. So that was cool. Overall, not a bad day. Um, I expect to bounce back in college today. 2-3. I mean, it's not too bad. It's not good though. So
All right, still under 500.
still
Still.
under five, dog. Still under five, dog. But we gonna bounce back today. Think I got some. We just talked about that Drake, so I just kind of buzz down. We gonna talk about BYU and Pepperdine today. Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, Towson and James Madison, Creighton, Seton Hall, Wisconsin, Maryland, and Drake, Missouri State rematch again. And and it's time to get it. And it's about time to get at it.
All right, here we go. Here we go. So, just gotta share the mix, share the mix. Boom, publish, group.
Uh, and I don't know what's going on. My nose allergies is killing me today.
Any upsets happened yesterday?
In the college world,
Yeah.
ooh, and I'm not sure. I have to go back and look. Um,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Oklahoma. I mean, if you count that as an upset,
Oh yeah, there was an upset.
if you count that as a money line upset,
Uh, it wasn't really an upset, man. Texas was short. I didn't know Jericho Sims was gonna be out. Had I
touchdown, two
known,
touchdown, and Shaka.
yeah, they had a lot of people. That honestly was. I did not know Sims was. So I'm not sure when we covered it that we covered when Sims being out. I didn't unless you said it, and I just
I don't remember saying it.
because if I would have known Jericho Sims was out, I for sure would have
Definitely
known.
didn't say him
Oh,
specifically. So I
and
know that.
and what's crazy is Oklahoma's my team, man. I flew with Oklahoma. Uh,
Plus four, that was I ain't gonna say it was easy money, but it was good money. So, did that Nigga Drake was down 26-41 at halftime, bro.
Drake was.
Losing 26-41 at halftime yesterday.
They were. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're gonna come out on fire today. They're not gonna.
they pretty much
They're
shut
not.
him down second half.
They're not gonna. They're not gonna play around today. No
Nah,
sir.
they hadn't played a game in like 2-3 weeks. So that was rust early.
Oh, so yeah, I'm all over them.
I'm all over Drake. Again. I'm all over Drake. Pause.
All right, well, let's get it going, man. Let's get it going. The first game we're gonna look at, which starts in about less than an hour, 45 minutes away. We got BYU. BYU traveling to take on the Pepperdine Waves. Right now, BYU is 13-3 on the year, 9-4-2 against the spread. While the Waves, they are 6-7 on the year, 6-4-1 against the spread. Right now, BYU has Baxter and Loud. Lowell, they've been out all season. And questionable in today's game for Pepperdine is Ball playing the guard position. In the last 10 games, BYU, they are 8-2. They just beat Pepperdine yesterday, 65-54. And they're on a 4-game winning streak. Pepperdine, they are 4-6 in the last 10 games, losing to BYU, but having back-to-back victories against Portland and Pacific. Get to some of these actual factors for you guys. The total has hit in the total, the under has hit 4 out of the last 5 games for BYU. BYU's 8-1 straight up in the last 9 games, 4-1-1 against the spread in the last 6 games versus Pepperdine. They're 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games versus Pepperdine. The under has hit 8 of the last 9 games on the road for BYU. They're 2-7 against the spread, though, in the last 9 games on the road versus Pepperdine. 10-2 straight up in the last 12 games, 13-2 straight up in the last 15 games when playing against the West Coast Conference. Let's get over here to Pepperdine. The total has gone under 5 out of the last 6 games for Pepperdine. They're 2-4 straight up in the last 6 games. The total has gone over in the last 6 out of 9 games versus BYU. They're 7-2 against the spread in the last 9 games when playing at home versus BYU. 5-0-1 against the spread when playing against the West Coast Conference in their last 6 games. 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games whenever playing on a Wednesday, and 0-10 straight up in the last 10 games when playing as an underdog. This line opened up. Let me get here. This line opened up in favor of BYU -6, and the over-under was 147.5. Right now, you can get it as a consensus. It's at 7. It's jumped up. The value was yesterday, and the total has gone up 148.5. BYU versus Pepperdine. Excuse me. What you got, Marley?
So these teams played yesterday, and I think BYU won by 11, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was double digits, if not 11. And Kessler Edwards, he's the leading scorer for Pepperdine. He's averaging 18.3 points a game. And hold on, Papa. And he's shooting 49% from the field, 84% from the line. Pepperdine and BYU, they both average 76 points a game. The difference is that Pepperdine gives up 73, where BYU only gives up 66. I think Pepperdine, they're in a different conference, right? I think BYU is Mountain West, right?
Well, BYU's independent. Well, in football, they're independent. I don't know. They might be Mountain West. Not sure.
Okay, well,
it makes sense.
Overall, I think they play basketball. I could be wrong on this. I don't know, but because they play like San Diego State and
right, yeah, yep.
I could be wrong on that. No comment on that, but I watched them play San Diego State, and when they beat them twice, San Diego State is a good team, especially they're a good defensive team. I think this BYU team is just on a different level than the Pepperdine. I actually like Pepperdine's lower school, mid-major school. I don't know if they're mid-major, but lower tier school. But Alex Porcello and the rest of BYU, he's averaging 15 points a game. He's shooting 53% from the field, 82 from the free throw line. So I just like BYU overall. I just think they're the better team. I think they'll continue to be the better team today. Right before we jumped live, I caught it. It was at 6.5. I parlayed it with the next game we'll talk about, probably, if not the next game. James Madison, we'll get into that later. But so I'm on BYU, but I got it at 6, not at 7. So I don't recommend that 7. So you can catch it at 6 and take it. I got it at 6.
I went ahead and grabbed it at 7. I wanted to take the first half. I really wanted to take the first half, but I got kind of scared. So once that line went up, and then back-to-back. So with the back-to-back, I want to find out the trend a little bit more on the back-to-back games because first half total, first half's like – because now the team gets to kind of know your personnel. They can kind of know what the heck you're doing and stuff like that. So
Right.
But I'm definitely, one thing about BYU, they do got some big men. They can shoot some threes. They lights out at the threes, man. And they can score. All of their victories have in the last 5 games have been by double digits. So give me that 7. I'm gonna ride it. Official play BYU -7 to start our day at 2:00 Central because we're here in Texas. BYU
I got you.
-7. What was your official play?
I got it at 6. It was
You got it
BYU.
at 6. So what? So it
Well,
says.
let's take that back. It was at 6.5, and I bought it to 6.
So are you gonna make an official play right now for the people?
For
Right
7?
now, with the 7? Yes. That's
No.
what they want to know. They don't want to know what you did this morning. They want to know, okay, motherfucker, what you gonna do right now? What you gonna tell me to do right now?
Taking the no, not official play at 7 for me.
Okay.
My son is trying to make me watch him swing this bat. Yes, go ahead, Papa.
No, that's all.
Oh, great hit. Good hit, Papa. I see. Yeah, do it again.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Let that man show Papa what he can do.
Gotta be a dad. For sure.
Here you go. Let's get on to the next game. With the little small schools, these kind of I be feeling a little funny with these guys, but
hey,
we got
Towson because when March Madness come, we go know who.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier, these are 2 teams that we were making money off these boys last year.
James Madison.
Along with Hofstra and Delaware, those were my 4 little schools that I was fooling with, dog.
I don't know what happened to Delaware this year, man. They was balling last year.
Well, they might have lost some players.
Seniors, yeah.
So the line opened up in favor of James Madison -5. The total was 148.5. Right now, as a consensus, that line right now is at -3, 146.5 on the total. The Towson Tigers, they are 3-7 on the year, 3-6-1 against the spread, while the James Madison Dukes are 7-5 and 6-3 against the spread. Right now, James Madison and Towson have no injuries posted. Towson, they're 3-7 in the last 10 games, while James Madison coming off a victory, a 79-72 victory against Northeastern. They are 5-5 6-4 in the last 10 games.
Right.
Get to some of these actual factions for you guys. Towson, a total has gone over in the 4 out of the last 6 games. They're 3-8 straight up in the last 11 games. The unders hit 11 out of the last 15 on the road for Towson. They're 2-11 straight up in the last 13 games when playing on the road against James Madison. They're 3-7 straight up in the last 10 games, as I explained earlier. 6-3 against the spread in the last 9 games against the Colonial Athletic Conference. They're 9-2-1 against the spread in the last 12 games. That's pretty good this month, in January. Get over here to the Dukes. Madison 6-2 against the spread in the last 8 games. The over has hit 5 out of the last 6 games for them boys. They're 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games. 11-2 straight up in the last 13 games when playing at home against Towson. The total has gone over 4 out of the last 5 games this season. In the last 5 games this season for the Dukes, they're 3-16 straight up in the last 19 games against an opponent from the Colonial Athletic Conference. 4-13-1 against the spread in the last 18 games in January. And if you like these little weird little stats, 4-8 against the spread whenever playing in the game on Wednesday. Towson, James Madison, what you got, Marley?
So I was going back and forth on this, looking up the numbers and listening to my YouTube guys. I listen to on SBR and iShark, shout out. But I'm on James Madison. As I said earlier when we broke down BYU, I parlayed it with James Madison. I did the money line. I didn't do the 3, which is why I parlayed it with BYU to give me a little bit of better value or to make up for the value I lost by not taking a 3. Might not need it. The thing that scared me is the last time they played when James Madison won, Zane Martin didn't play. Zane Martin is the leading scorer. He does everything for Towson. 16 points per game with 3 assists. The problem is, man, Towson allows 75 points a game. They only score 67. It's almost a 10-point differential. It's 8. That's just it's too big of a gap. Uh, for me. Meanwhile, James Madison scores 78 points a game and only gives up 70. And they shoot 46% from the field. Townsend only shoots 42. And so they depend way on Zane Martin too much for me. And Matt Lewis for James Madison is averaging 21.3 points a game with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. He leading in each category he leads the team. So with that being said, like I said already, I'm on James Madison. I did the money line. That's an official play. I actually parlayed it with the BYU -6, but for video purposes, James Madison money line.
So I'm gonna bet James Madison. One, they got a great record at home versus Towson. So looking at history there, but one of the main reasons is James Madison has a pretty good defense. So far this year, they've averaged 23.7% of forced turnovers on all possessions. That's 28th best amongst Division I teams, while Towson has forced a turnover percentage of 14.9. That's 338th in the country. I'm going based on this defense right now, based on history. James Madison, they're kind of hot. Right now, they're hot. Overall record, you look at them, you're probably like, they're just 2 games above 500. Hey, Gary, what's up, man? Yeah, we just went over BYU and Pepperdine. But I'm sorry, I just had wanted to answer the fans, see what they got going. What's up, little man? I'm gonna take official play James Madison -3. Official play.
All right, so you're doing -3.
What you got? What you do?
Well, I parlayed it with the money line, but that's my play. I guess for video purposes, I'm still gonna stick with the money line.
Okay, so
because that's just the play I made. So,
hey, is that one of your boys? Man, he was a baby when we went to that football game at Butler.
This is the baby. I got one more. I got another one that's a year, 2 years, year and a couple months older than him.
That one wasn't at the game, huh?
He might. At what game? Which game?
I think we went to go see Elkins versus like Westbury or something. We went to an Elkins game at Butler, bro.
Oh no, I was with. Oh, okay, yeah. I was with Carter because Quentin Lil Kimfolk was playing for Elkins. Quentin nephew. Nah. But Skyland was probably about his size though. Nah, hell no. Skylar was smaller than that. That's like 3 years ago. You talking about 4 years? He might not even been born. Or he was a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, that too.
All right. Well, let's get on to the next game. Let's go over this Creighton versus Seton Hall. This line opened up in favor of Creighton -3. The total was 148.5 right now. The line is at a consensus at -2. Last night it was at a 1. It was at a -1 in favor of Seton Hall when I was looking.
It was at 1 this morning. Plus, I had Seton Hall +1 this morning.
No, but Seton Hall last night, like around 2, 3 in the morning, on my books, it had Seton Hall -1 as a favorite.
Seton Hall the favorite?
They had Seton Hall favorite, yeah, but right now Creighton's -2.
Man, I wish I could have. Oh man.
Yeah. So the Creighton Blue Jays, they're 11-4 against the spread. 11-4 on the year, 6-9 against the spread. They're sitting at number 17 in the country. While Seton Hall Pirates, they're 9-6 on the year, 10-5. Great against the spread record. As far as injuries, now Creighton does have a lot of guys questionable. Epperson, the center, questionable. O'Connell, the guards, questionable. Mitchell, questionable. Another guard, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name.
Seton Hall, right?
No. This is Creighton. He's out, and Can Clears for Seton Hall. He's out. But none of those guys, I did my research, none of those guys are leading or big factors for Creighton. when it comes to assists, rebounds and scoring. While Seton is healthy. In the last 10 games, Creighton, they're 7-3, beating their last victory. That was last game against UConn. They won that game 74-66. While Seton Hall, they coming off a 76-74 loss against Nova, which I took them on the spread. This spread was like plus 9.5 for Seton. I took them and they almost won outright. But they are also 7-3 in their last 10 games. Let's get to some actual factuals for you guys. Creighton at 2-6 against the spread in the last 8 games, 7-2 straight up in the last 9 games, 4-2 against the spread in the last 6 games when playing against Seton. They're 4-2 straight up in the last 6 games against Seton as well. The under has hit 14 out of the last 20 games on the road. They're 2-4 straight up in the last 6 games when playing on the road against Seton. 11-4 straight up on the year, as I told you guys. 2-6 against the spread in the last 8 games when playing in the Big East. The under has hit 4 out of the last 6 games when playing in January for those boys. Let's get over there to Seton. Seton 8-3 against the spread in the last 11 games. 8-3 straight up in the last 11 games. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games at home. 4-2 straight up in the last 6 games at home when playing against Creighton. 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 games. The total has gone under for 7 out of the last 10 games for Seton, and the unders hit 4 out of the last 6 against Creighton. Seton Hall hosting Creighton, number 17. What you got, Marley?
So this is gonna be one of those games, man. It's an interesting game. Seton Hall is 6-3 ATS against conference opponents, and 2-2 at home against conference opponents ATS. The difference for me is that Seton Hall allows 71 points a game, while Creighton gives up 69. Now, I know you're saying it's only like 3-point differential, but Creighton averages 80 points a game, where Seton Hall only averages 74. So that's a 3-point differential from Seton Hall and an 11-point differential with Creighton. Creighton's 1-3 ATS on the road. It kind of scares me in conference. So that does scare me, but they easily took care of business against Seton Hall last time, and I think this is going to continue to take care of business. Denzel Mahoney, he leads Creighton Hall in scoring, 15 points a game. But Sandro, I'm not even going to try to say Sandro last name.
Just say Billy. Just say Billy. I say just say Billy.
Bashili, I think it's Bashili.
He a dog, though. He a dog.
Hold up. Man, you hell of a shilly. I don't know if I said it right, but I think that's how it goes. Man, you hell of a shilly.
It's kind of shit. It sounds about right. He's a dog. He a dog, though. He a dog.
He averaging 18-7 on the game. So like, he is a concern, but I'm gonna back Creighton here. Damn, I sure hate I missed the money line. I missed the minus +1. -2. I'm just sticking with the money line. I think it's a money line kind of day.
That's what I got. I am scared of Big Sandro. I'm definitely scared of Big Sandro. The thing is, I think Creighton bounced back. They lost. They're 1-2 in the last 2 games. I definitely think they bounced back today. But Seton Hall is a very dangerous team, but they have a good first half, they have a bad second half, or they have a bad first half and have a great second half. So they're not really too consistent throughout the entire game. One thing I do get concerned with is if they can come out in the first 5 minutes and catch fire and just start, just playing good team ball. But I think Creighton, they come in, take care of business. I'm with you too on this. If it's under 2, if it's under 3, go ahead, just take the money line. So I'm gonna back Creighton up money line as well, official play. So we both on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey man, y'all be sure to like, subscribe, follow us. You know, this is our new YouTube page, so we don't have our audience like how we did. Hopefully everybody will find us. YouTube messed us over, but we're trying to get
Cool.
back, right?
We'll get it back.
Right. Let's get over to the next game. Virginia Tech traveling to take on Notre Dame Fighting Irish. This line opened up in favor of Virginia Tech -2. The over/under was 41 and a half, 141 and a half. Right now, it's at a pick 'em. A lot of places have it at pick 'em. Last night, when I was looking at this number, Notre Dame was the favorite. Some spots are starting to have it flip towards Virginia Tech. But Virginia Tech 11-3 on the year, 8-6 against the spread. While Notre Dame's 5-7 on the year, having a down year, and 4-8 against the spread. Excuse me. B Tech does have some guys that are out. Penslem, he's out for today, as well as this dude Daria and Radford. Two guards have probably been out, one suspension, so they've probably been out for a while now.
One of those suspensions is kind of like recent.
Who?
If I'm not mistaken.
Who?
One of those suspensions is kind of recent, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah, because I think you've been following VTech. Whatchamacallit? Notre Dame has Cromartie out. He's a guard. In the last 10 games, VTech is 7-3, which they were upset by Syracuse, which I was all over Syracuse for that game. They lost 78-60. Notre Dame, they do have back-to-back victories against BC, Boston College, and Miami, so they're kind of feeling good right now. Those guys are 4-6 in the last 10 games. Get to some actual factuals. VTech 6-3 against the spread in the last 9 games, 11-3 straight up in the last 14 games, 4-2 against the spread in the last 6 games versus Notre Dame, 4-9 straight up in the last 13 games against Notre Dame, 1-8 against the spread in the last 9 games on the road, 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing on the road versus Notre Dame, 7-2 straight up in the last 9 games, 5-2 straight up in the last 7 games when playing versus the ACC, and the under has hit 4 out of the last 5 games this month for VTech. And on some crazy stats, man, towards the middle of that. Notre Dame 2-6 against the spread in the last 8 games. The overs hit 5 out of the last 7 for them boys. They're 9-4 against the spread. 9-4 straight up in the last 13 games. 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing against VTech. 4-8 against the spread when playing in the last 12 games. The overs hit 7 out of the last 8 in this month for the Fighting Irish, and that's 6-12 straight up in the last 18 games when playing on a Wednesday. VTech, Notre Dame, what you got, Marley?
Like you said, I've been kind of keeping an eye on Virginia Tech this season, and I missed that Syracuse game. Well, I didn't miss it. I bet that Syracuse game, not really kind of knowing what was going on, just thinking I've been following Virginia Tech. I know they're a good team, and I got smacked. And I think partially is because of that suspension that you talked about that I didn't know about. I think it may have started that week, maybe, not sure. But whoever missed that game, and they're missing this game as well. And that's my concern. And I'm not saying they would have beat Syracuse last week, but Syracuse wouldn't have beat them by like 18, damn near 20 points. It wouldn't have been that bad. And for that reason alone, I am on Notre Dame. So it was -1 last night. What did you say it is now?
It's a pick 'em.
Pick 'em. The injuries made me want to stay off the game completely, honestly, and not give a fade. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I lean Notre Dame. I definitely stay away from Virginia Tech just because it's too. I don't know the circumstances with the suspensions and the injuries. I got to look more into it. I knew it was something fishy about it, but I just got to lean toward Notre Dame. I'm not going to make it official.
Okay. I have seen Notre Dame. They are a scrappy team. Seen them play. They're very scrappy in the first half of the game, but then the talent team seems to take over in the second half.
That's what scares me.
So the VTech already having a game or two under their belt with the suspensions and the injuries. Do they figure shit out today? Looking at all the stats and everything right now,
Let some
Everything
risky be
says,
balling, man.
yeah, everything says take Notre Dame, with those actual factuals and those trends. But I'm gonna roll the dice. It's gambling, baby. I'm gonna roll the dice, let it go. I'm gonna take VTech to bounce back off of that loss. Money line, official play.
Mm.
It's a scary official, but it's official play.
Yeah, before I knew the injuries, I would have been on VTech, but just I don't know what's going on. So yeah,
All
I
right,
got you.
let's get to man. Let's get to a team that I typically call frauds, and that's Wisconsin.
You think
Wisconsin
Wisconsin
Badgers.
fraud?
Say what?
You think Wisconsin's frauds?
Man, they will be frauds today if they lose. For real. Sitting at number 14 at one point, top 5 team in the country. Wisconsin opened up as a 4-point favorite. The total was 130.5. Right now, it's at -3.5 and still in favor of Wisconsin. And the total has jumped down a point, but 129. Wisconsin, number 14, 12-4, 8-8 against the spread on the year, while the Merlin, I'll say it how my boys at V State used to say, they're 9-7 against straight up on the year and 7-8 against the spread. See if these guys got any injuries. Wisconsin has 2 guys that have been out pretty much majority of the season, while Maryland's pretty fresh. In the last 10 games, Wisconsin is 7-3. They're coming off of a butt whooping against Ohio State on the 23rd, while Maryland, they are 4-6 in the last 10 games and having a huge upset victory against against Minnesota last weekend, 63-49. Get to some actual factuals. The total has gone under the 4 out of the last 6 for Wisconsin. Wisconsin 16-4 straight up in the last 20 games, 12-4 on the season in the last 16 games, 14-3 straight up in the last 17 games when playing against the Big Ten opponent, 2-7-1 against the spread in the last 10 games. Maryland. 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games. 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games at home. The over has hit 6 out of the last 9 games this season. They're 4-8 straight up against Big Ten opponents. 10-4 this season against the spread in the last 14 games played in January, and 5-2 straight up in the last 7 games played on the Wednesday. The possible fraud Wisconsin Badgers going against the Maryland Terrapins. What you got?
I'm all over those possible frauds today. 3.5. And then I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Maryland is 0-3 against the spread at home in conference play. This is a conference game. I expect that streak to continue. Now, Maryland did go on the road and beat Wisconsin in Wisconsin, which right. So, revenge factor. I'm taking Maryland for the revenge factor. They're going to come back and they're actually playing good basketball as of right now. So I'm taking that. I'm taking the 3.5. Maryland is averaging 72 points a game. They're only giving up 62 points a game. That's a 10-point differential. Meanwhile, that was Wisconsin. I'm sorry. Maryland is averaging 72 points a game, but giving up 67, which is only a 5-point differential. So they double their differential. Dimitri, I can't think of his last name right now. For some strange reason, I didn't write it down. But he's averaging 14 points a game, shooting 45%. He's also leading the team with 3.9. Might as well say 4 assists. So with that being said, and with Maryland being 0-3 ATS at home, 1-5 ATS, 0-3 against conference at home, and 1-5 overall ATS at home. For whatever strange reason, they just do not play well at home. And Wisconsin is 2-1 against the spread on the road. So I expect both those trends to continue. I'm on Wisconsin minus the 3.5.
This gonna be my absolute last time betting on Wisconsin if they freaking lose, man. I'm gonna take them 3.5. Maryland's a down year. I have a good feeling about a revenge factor, and it's a letdown game for Maryland. They had that huge emotional victory on the road against Minnesota, pulling that upset. They gave it everything they got.
Yep.
Those
Come
legs,
home, see your girl, get
yeah,
celebrated,
legs a little
you know,
shot. You
eating
know,
good,
yeah, happy that a
might be a little
Biden in
bit
the
of full.
office, all that. So
Yeah.
this is a good game to get smacked, brought back down to the level. I'm gonna take official play Wisconsin minus 3.5. Don't fucking fail me, man. If you guys lose today, you are frauds
What?
of the fucking Big Ten. Jesus. Right now, so here's the frauds. Kansas, they're a fraud in the Big 12. Who else did I say were frauds?
I don't know. Kansas.
North Carolina, but they've been playing good
Oh, they
lately.
playing good lately though.
But Kansas for sure are frauds, bro. They have cost me a lot of money this year.
I've been
Fraud.
faded. I faded them at the right time and caught them at the right time, I think.
Yeah, well, they some frauds, man. Let's get on to the next game. Hey guys, be sure to like, subscribe, follow. We got a new YouTube page, so of course our viewership is down because we lost all of our YouTube, got rid of all of our followers and stuff. But we still have our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter. Let's get on to this next game. DePaul hosting St. John's. DePaul sucks, but this is a fishy ass line. The opened up as a pick 'em, but I saw again last night. I saw DePaul -1, but the total's 154.5. It's still at a pick 'em right now, and the total's jumped down 2 points, 152.5 right now. The Red Storm, they're 9-7 on the year, 8-8 against the spread. While the Blue Demons of DePaul, they're 3-5, 4-4 against the spread. See if there's any major injuries right now. Williams Jr., he is questionable for today's games for St. John. While Jacobs, he's out indefinitely. Edwards, he's out indefinitely. And Lopez Jr. is questionable with a knee injury today for DePaul. Here we go. St. John's on a 2-game win streak, while DePaul right now they're on a 1-game win streak against Marquette. So was that a big, and it was a huge upset because they were 9-point underdog. 4-1 against the spread. Get these actual factors, ladies and gentlemen. 4-1 against the spread for St. John's in the last 5 games. Their total has gone over 11 out of the last 16 games. 5-11 against the spread against DePaul. 14-6 straight up in the last 20 games against DePaul. 1-8 straight up in the last 9 games on the road, though, this season. The total's gone over 4 out of the last 5 games when playing on the road against DePaul. They're 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 games this season. 4-2 against the spread in the last 6 games against Big East opponents. And the unders hit 10 out of the last 15 games when played in January. Get over to these actual factors for DePaul. They are 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games. The unders hit 6 out of the last 6 games for them boys. They're 2-5 straight up in the last 7 games. The over has hit 8 out of the last 12 games against St. John's. 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games versus the Big East. 3-12 in the last 15 games when played in January. 6-13 against the spread in the last 19 games when playing on a Wednesday. 2-5 in the last 7 when playing at home on a Wednesday. St. John's, DePaul, what you got, Marley?
I don't got shit. shit on both of these hard ass teams. I don't got why anybody will back DePaul. I have no idea. So I mean, I would St. John's or nothing, but as a personal bet and as advice on this video, it's too much other action to be out there to be fishing for a game that like I have no idea who can win this game. I mean, I think DePaul sucks, but St. John ain't too much better. I think they're the better team, but shit, I'm like you said, that line, it probably should be St. John minus 1 or 2 points versus a pick 'em, maybe even 3 points, but I'm not
It's
missing.
it's fishy. It smell like fish, but I'm in the fish ass mood. I'm gonna take St. John's Pick'em official play. Take
You
them.
gotta take that. I mean, you gotta
DePaul
take St. John.
sucks.
You
I'm
gotta take
just gonna
St. John to
gamble
let
again. Roll a dice. Roll a dice.
St.
And
John money line. Oh, it's pick 'em, so yeah.
it's at a pick'em, so fuck it. Come on. That's a late game anyway. And now let's get to our last game. We've been on here 40 minutes, so we should end it off in about 45. Thank y'all for tuning in. For the 2 viewers, we went up to 5 today on our live. The last
That's
game,
cool.
it should be
This
the
time next
ultimate
year we're gonna
money
be at
game.
100 views, 102 couple hundred views live.
Man, let's see. Here we go. The last game. This should be the ultimate money game. This should be everybody's cash out game right here. Drake going up against Missouri State. Excuse me. Let me get to my stuff. Where? There we go. So Drake Bulldogs taking on the Missouri State Bears. This line opened up in favor of Drake -5. The total is 144.5. Right now sitting at -4. And the total is at 144. Drake 14-0. 12-0 against the spread. Missouri State Bears 9-2. 7-2 against the spread. The top dogs of their conference. Drake has Thompson out with the injuries, but he's been out last 10 games. Drake's 10-0. So they played Missouri State yesterday, and that was their first game since January 4th. So they knocked the rust off. In the last 10 games, Missouri State, they're 8-2. Get to some actual factors. Drake 10-0 against the spread in the last 10 games. The unders hit 4 out of the last 5 games. 10-0 straight up in the last 10 games. 7-2 against the spread. In the last 9 games against Missouri State. 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games against Missouri State. They're 6-0 against the spread. On the road, 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing on the road against Missouri State. 14-0 straight up in the last 14 games. 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games against the Missouri Valley Conference. Missouri State 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games. The over has hit 15 of the last 20 games. They're 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games, 10-1 straight up in the last 11 games, 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing at home against Drake. They are 9-2 in the last 11 games, 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games versus the Missouri Valley Conference. So that loss yesterday hurt them because they didn't cover. The over has hit 5 out of the last 7 games when played in January. Drake, not the singer, but the Bulldogs going against Missouri State Bears. What you got?
Man, all right. So like I told boys yesterday, and I'm gonna tell you again today, I'm not jumping off the Drake bandwagon until they beat me. Somebody has to beat me. And until then, I'm on Drake. Drake -4, give me Drake. Drake money line, give me Drake. Drake -2, give me Drake. Drake -10, I want Drake. I'm Drake right now. So their point differential is 22. Like, in other words, what I'm saying is they average 80 points, 82 to be exact, and they give up 60. 20-point differential. They shoot 52% from the field. They lead the league in 3-point shooting. And like you said, after not playing for like 3 weeks, the rust is off. They still covered. I normally don't like backing teams like that's really good, that's close, or teams that 2 good teams in a conference that play each other back to back. I really don't like doing that. But in Drake's case, They are the exception to the rule. This is the coastal of basketball right now. Coastal Carolina. I'm riding
Yeah,
these boys. I'm
yeah.
riding these boys all the way to the tournament. I don't even care if they lose this spread. It's not gonna take me off. There are 13, what is it, 12 and 0 against the spread or 13, 12 and 0
12 and
against
0.
the spread? Come on, bro.
And they beat them by and the spread yesterday was 11 and they covered that shit. And they were knocking off the rust. So the difference is they haven't been playing in the last 3 weeks. So this back to back to them is a fucking blessing, dog, for them because they like, bro, we've been off. We haven't played. So we came in, took care of business, smacked them around a little bit yesterday. Let's double that again. Their legs are fresh. They fresh. This is the cash out here. If you have a good day, leading up to this game, put everything on it. Official play, everything on Drake. If I'm sitting at a band after by the time I get there, I'm just gonna take the money line. But they're 12 and 0. You're just gonna have to beat me, Missouri State. Now I am scared because it's a back to back, and Missouri State is a good team statistically, but them boys got fresh legs on the other side. They're happy to play again today.
I think the second half. So like Isaiah Mosley is Missouri State leading scorer. He averages 22 points a game. And I think the second half they figured him out. They frustrated him. And I mean they was down. I feel like I wrote the wrong score down, but they was down 26-41 at halftime yesterday. That's what 15 points at the half to come up and then cover. So they definitely figured something out in the second half, or they just knocked the rust off. Either way it goes, whatever they finished in the whatever they started in the second half is going to continue throughout this game. I'm all over Drake, man. I'm just not fading. I'm just not fading them. Period.
Yeah, it was 41-26 at half yesterday.
Yeah.
So they come out on fire today. I wouldn't take them first half, but I'm gonna take them full game. You know what I'm saying? Like they're happy to get out there. They're not gonna let this game up. I don't think so. So that's it. Hey guys, be sure to like. Hold on, we got a comment. Let's read out the comment. I'm going with Missouri State. I feel you though. Hard fade to the Drake. Yeah, one thing about this gambling shit, and I always be saying you can't go 10-0 again on the spread. They managed to go 12-0. Could it be a pop? Could Missouri State come out on fire and be like, yo, we're not gonna let up? Did they get a little too happy? But I just think Drake, after having that game, they come out excited today to play. Appreciate your comment and your input, Clipper 17 Clipper. Y'all be sure to like, subscribe, follow us, man. We lost our original YouTube page. I'm gonna keep saying it because man, we was at 2,000 and we had a lot of content for years ago. So now we have to start all over, man. And a like and a share would definitely, and a subscribe would definitely help us out.
Yeah.
If you got anything, man, the game starts. That BYU starts in about 2 minutes.
I took 6, man. If you want to go over all our plays, that's it for me.
Yeah. Let's. I'll go over the officials. I got all the official plays for both of us. Right now, my official play is -7 for BYU. Marley caught it at 6 earlier today, but he didn't want to give an official play for the viewers at -7 right now. We both. I like James Madison -3, while Marley likes James Madison money line. We both like Creighton money line. I like V-Tech at a pick'em. Did you take V-Tech too, or you backed off?
I backed off.
Okay, so that's my official play. So I like V-Tech at a pick'em. We both like Wisconsin -3.5. I like St. John's at a pick'em, and we both like Drake -4.
Don't think about it too much.
So let's look to have a good day. Oh, real quick, open mic. What you think about Josh Heupel going to Tennessee, leaving UCF, the coach for UCF? You ain't hear about that?
Doing what?
Josh Heupel, the head coach for Central Florida in football, he's now going to Tennessee.
Oh, he's going to Tennessee to coach.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tennessee needs a change. I do know that.
He about to get hit with all kind of sanctions, but I mean, If he could bring that offense there, but it just get too predictable. Should have stayed at Central Florida, at least till fucking Gabriel left.
That's your
Oh, Milton,
squad. So
excuse me.
I know you follow UCF. That
Yeah.
offense gonna be good. I mean, that's the only way. You gotta think about it though. In the SEC, he's not finna out recruit Bama. He's probably not finna out recruit Florida, LSU, all the powerhouses. So that kind of offense is the offense that you gotta run to be able to compete with those schools. So I think I mean, for Tennessee, I think it's a good thing.
So Tennessee, they got top dual threat quarterback coming out of our state of Texas from Cedar Hill, Slayton. He just got his ass whooped by Katie in the state game, but yeah, with him going
That
there,
offense?
they'll be able to run that offense for sure. Hey man, we about to get out of here. See, we got 7 viewers, man. Just real quick, since everybody's coming in right now, be sure to like, subscribe, follow. We're gonna start trying to do these at night for the day before, so we can cut these up.
Well, hold up before you go, everybody that is in, we're about to do an NBA video. As soon as this one ends, I'm gonna go set it up and we're gonna go over NBA picks. Me and LJ. So don't go too far.
BYU -7. That's the coach's pick. James Madison -3. Marley likes some money line. We both like Creighton money line. I like VTech pick'em. We both like Wisconsin -3.5. I like St. John's as a pick'em, and we both like Drake -4. Let's go watch this BYU. I'm the coach. It's my boy Marley Bets. Brothas N Bets. We out.
Out.